Yeah?
Yeah, Distortion just sent you a package.
Again? Huh. Distortion guys, keeping me busy, huh? Looks like we've got a CSR. It actually took me such a long time to make this video that I no longer have the gun, so just imagine I'm holding it right here. Now, just so we're clear, acquisition of this gun right here, see this gun? Acquisition of this gun right here is your first step in the process of acquiring unlimited girlfriends. You either won't have the time or the money for these unlimited girlfriends. So, I mean, for the cost of this gun, it better bang all your bucks. The asking price alone of 1,800 George Washingtons or 18 Benjamins was more than enough to keep many potential buyers of these guns on the fence. Although, I say was because they're just about sold out, so these potential buyers probably did go to either side of the fence. Anyway, there's still a lot we can learn from this release, like how awesome the Shaft FL is, and like how carbon fiber gun cases should definitely continue to be a thing, and how the CS1.5 was wait, what?
At the time of the production of this video, the CS1.5 did not exist. However, a large portion of what the CSR has to offer is offered by the CS1.5 as well, so please keep this in mind as you watch the rest of the video.
You know, for the most part, the CSR is the CS1, and I have my review for that gun right there, and a lot of that, pretty much most of it, just translates to this gun perfectly. But there's a few more things that the CSR offers that aren't in the CS1 that I think are worth mentioning.
Let's start with the disassembly of the marker. It's all business as usual as it was with the CS1, but we also see where the old chaps across the pond improved the platform. For starters, a pin between the battery housing and the frame adds extra security to the front of the gun, but also an extra step to disassembly. But oh well. The CSR's aesthetics have also received a lot of attention, most notably the eye covers having a very cool looking cutout with the CSR branding. And yes, this should have been backlit. The blade trigger is an addition that a sad collection of human beings apparently asked for. Why they did this?
The world may never know.
On another note, I really like this Pops' look. Mr. Wood and Mr. Woods said something about there being a new jig specifically for it.
Yeah, people are asking about the jigging.
No, hold on, you've got this all wrong. You're confusing jig and gig. A gig is kind of like a small concert of sorts. A jig, is what they're talking about, is a device that holds a piece of work and guides the tool it's operating on it. I don't think that Planet Eclipse holds gigs in their headquarters. Well, that's rather disappointing. But you want to know what isn't disappointing? This gun's performance on the field. On the field, the gun feels a bit different from the CS1, as if it's a more maneuverable and lightweight version of it. But it still keeps a lot of the same great features from that gun. It's still just as comfortable, it points just as great, and has the same top-level shot. Speaking of the shot,
I don't want to sound like I'm complaining because this shot is extremely soft, super swift, hardly noticeable across the field when you shoot it. It's almost inaudible. It's just like a really low octave hiss that you can hear across the field. It's a very quiet shot. But the thing is, with this super soft shot that you find on this gun and on balanced spools, it just lacks a bit of character and gets a bit boring over time, and a lot of guys would probably agree with me there. And you'll want to pick up something else occasionally to spice things up.
Remember when I reviewed the CS1? I absolutely loved this shot, but after shooting every once in a while, picking my buddy Adrian's CS1 and now shooting this, it's just a shot that gets a little bit boring over time, and the same goes for the Luxes, Vanquishes, Vapors, I mean, if we want to mention those. That's pretty much the reason why I like picking up Poppets every once in a while. They're just a lot more interesting of a shot.
But it's not to say that the gun is lacking in any way. I want to be 110% clear. This iteration of the IV core is just as good as the original in terms of measurable performance metrics, plus the softer and quieter shot. These things are also in the CS1 though, so where does the CSR stand out really? Well, for starters, the Shaft FL for Featherlight.
This barrel's called an FL, which means something else light.
Yeah. Featherlight.
Not Featherlight.
Is a 3-piece long bore kit that performs just as well as the Shaft 5 but is much lighter. And the same essentially goes for the CSR marker itself. The whole thing is an exercise in making a super light CS1 with a good amount of exclusive features. And that's it. No more, no less. This is the verdict. This lightweight CS does outclass the original, which in comparison is like handling an F-22 versus a 747. And that's not a rip on the CS1, but just a testament to how much more maneuverable the CSR is.
And for those same reasons, despite it not being my absolute favorite gun on the market, I do think it is the best gun on the market. I think this gun surpasses the other 3 major spool valve guns in the market. Because it's more maneuverable, because it's lighter and points quicker and snaps on target so easily, is what makes it the better gun, in my opinion. The barrel is fantastic, the build is amazing, it's incredibly fast to take apart, the trigger is really good, the user interface is second best, sorry, but you know, the M2 has got that really nice board. At the same time, this is the most expensive gun on the market. Of course, we've got to blow it up.